Okay, so good morning, grade 8 students. For the quarter 4, week 5, topics in Mapeh. First, we have here in music. So our topic in music is we have the Indonesian theater, which is the wayang kulit. And uh, I already discussed it with you for the last like 2 weeks ago. And I will just give a recap regarding sa Indonesian theater, which is the wayang kulit. So shadow puppets prevalent in Java and Bali in Indonesia, and Kelantan and Terengganu in Malaysia are without a doubt the best known of the Indonesian wayang. So wayang is an Indonesian and Malay word for theater. So when the term is used to refer to the kinds of puppet theater, so sometimes the puppet itself is referred to as the wayang. And the Javanese word to shadow or imagination also connotes the spirit. And performance of the shadow puppet theater are accompanied by the gamelan in Java and by gender wayang in Bali. So we have here the different vocal and instrumental form under the wayang kulit. And we have here the following. So first is we have here saron. So when we say saron, a xylophone of heavy bronze. Another vocal and instrumental form of the wayang kulit is the hender, or a bronze xylophone with resonance chambers beneath. Another vocal and instrumental form of wayang kulit is the bonang. So when we say bonang, it is a set of bronze bows. And another vocal and instrumental form of wayang kulit is the gong and kempol, which is the hanging gongs. Another vocal and instrumental form of wayang kulit is the kenda. It is, when we say kenda, a horizontal drum beat with fingers on both ends. And when we say suling, suling means flute. It's a flute instrument. And another vocal and instrumental form of the wayang kulit is the rebab. So when we say rebab, it is a two-string fiddle instrument. And we have here the gambang. So magambang na gambang, it is a wooden xylophone. And last, vocal and instrumental form under the wayang kulit is we have that telengkung. So when we say telengkung, is a zither of 13 double strings. Which later on, when you open your module, so I have there, kumbaga, gin-post ko, ginbutang ko ang different na pictures sa vocal and instrumental form of the wayang kulit. So the preponderance of bronze instruments gives the gamelan music a bright, lingering sound ranging from slow, majestic melodies of the Javanese gamelan to the clamorous vibrancy of the Balinese gamelan. So fiddle and flute add a delicate counterpoint to four-snare pattern of percussive melody which is used in the wayang kulit. So in addition to the setting of the mood or atmosphere of a play, which is the wayang kulit, music has two major dramatic functions in the theater. So it accompanies the singing or chanting, and it accompanies stage actions including dance. So the importance of each function varies from area to area and from theater form to theater form in the wayang kulit. Next is for the arts. So our lesson in arts, we have the Asian theater form as compared to Philippine theater. So as you all know, we have also our own Philippine theater. So Asian theater shared common characteristics. So they combine the music, the dialogue, martial arts, and acrobatics. So performers are multi-faceted because they have to sing, dance, perform martial arts, and do acrobatics. So Asian theater have the following features in common. So first, many dramas are based on episodes from the Mahabharata, the Ramayana, or other known tales as in case of India. So the Mahabharata and Ramayana are Hindu epic story sa India. So actors wear colorful costumes and fantastic masks like makeup as in the kabuki actor. So for this one, they wear mga colorful costume. So, di ba, pag sa ara ka sa isa ka theater, pag watch ka sa theater na performance, kumbaga, uh, most nga mga actors and actresses na, they wear colorful costumes. And colorful costumes are very attractive. So, it is very pleasing to the eyes of the audience. So, it is one factor, kumbaga, which nga makot ang attention sa mga audience is through their costume. So, that is why ang costume nila nga suk are very colorful. So the presentations are intended for different occasions such as religious celebration, marriages, good harvest, and others. So, ang performances nila or ang presentation nila about sa marriage, sa good harvest, and mga different religious celebrations. So the actors may change costume and makeup on stage as they perform with masks. So, ang mga actors, ma-change sila sa ilang costumes and makeup kung ano na sila sa stage. As they perform with mask. So, mag-perform sila, they wear their mask. So, in the Philippines, we have the different theater forms. So, which we perform during different occasions. So, we have the religious drama like the Sinakulo, which usually done during the Lenten season. So, katatapos lang sa aton nga Semana Santa, and kumbaga kung wala pa ang pandemic, balahaw. So, amon isa ni sila sa ninaabangan sang mga tao ang mag-watch sang Sinakulo. So another theater forms here in the Philippines is we have the Panuluyan. And it usually done during the Christmas season, which is in December. So, and we have another type of theater form here in the Philippines, which is the Komedia or the Moro-Moro. And it is a full-length verse play about the king and queen, knight and ladies meeting in love and war. And ang komedya about sa Christians and the mga Muslims. And as you all know, Christians and Muslims, kumbaga, lagi na sila yan nag-bout. So they are enemies gina niya. Ang Christians and Muslims. So, and at present, so there are still some places in the country that present this kind of entertainment. So, mga komedya, ang Sinakulo. So, ginahimot na ni sa Japan up until now. Pero because of pandemic, so, diba ginabawalan ng mga social gathering. So, doon tat na sa. Pero before, so wala pa pandemic, every year kita ni ginisa kay ginahiwat gini nila and ginahimo gini nila mga different nga mga theater forms, which is ang Sinakulo, komedya. So ang Philippine theater forms are both performed by male and female. So male roles are played by males and female roles are played by females, unlike sa Asian theater nga which is ang lalaki nga role kumbaga ay ang babae nga role gina-act sang lalaki. Pero diri sa ato niya sa Philippines, ang Philippine theater, kung ikaw yung babae, imo yung role is babae. Kung ikaw lalaki, ang imo role is lalaki. Gidya. And costumes are not elaborated and wearing of mask is not a must. So here in the Philippines, ang Philippine theater taya, unlike sa Asian theater, sa Ilaya, when they perform, wearing mask, kumbaga, is a, usaton pa, party na niya sang ila, yung costume, usaton pa, compulsory, ginaya sa Asian theater. Hindi kaya ka-perform kung wala kaya sang mask, kumbaga. But here in the Philippines, wearing a mask in theater, kumbaga, is not that, kumbaga, hindi kumbaga compulsory, unlike sa Asian theater. So sa Philippines, we have the Cultural Center of the Philippines where ginapagawa ang mga theater presentations. And actors and actresses wear makeup, but it is not heavy as the kabuki performers. So kabuki performers wear kumbaga very ang ilang makeup na gina-wear damol. Pero here in the Philippines, ang mga actors and actresses taya, ang makeup nila naging butang sa ilang face, very light lang. So just like the kabuki actors, some theater actors and actresses here in the Philippines start their training for the theater as a child. So like for example, si Lea Salonga. So she started as a child in theater. So bata pa na si Lea Salonga sa nag-start sa maging theater actress. Until nga naging known siya as international theater actress. So anong famous nga role ni Lea Salonga? Who among you here kilala si Lea Salonga? Lea Salonga, anong nga role ni Lea Salonga or famous nga theater play nga intrahan niya? Miss Saigon. Miss Saigon. Okay. So, and that's it for our lesson in arts. So, next is we have in PE. So, in PE, our lesson is all about, we have the dance-related injuries. So, as you all know, hindi ka na malikawan when you dance, injuries happen or sometimes accidents happen. Okay, so when you dance, sometimes you feel pain and for ang mga kung if you are a dancer pero I think most of you here know how to dance lang. Pero ang mga dancers so while dancing, sometimes kami nakafeel na silang pain in different parts of their body. It may be in their hands or in their feet. So we have here different nga mga injury that might happen or that will happen sa mga dancers. So, we have here muscle cramps, sprain, dehydration, or even heat exhaustion. So, abo na mga ma-experience ng mga dancers or even athletes also. So, what are the possible causes, signs, and symptoms of these injuries? So first, we have here the muscle cramps. So for the muscle cramps, one of the most common injuries is the muscle cramps. Who among you experience muscle cramps? Muscle cramps? Anyone? Okay, so you feel cramps even though you are not moving, di ba? And muscle cramps could be caused by tense muscles or your muscles being contracted for a long time. Or amo na saang as a result of staying in the same position for a long time. O, try nyo ba magpungko na dugay-dugay. So, So, experience ka mo ng muscle cramps. So, muscle cramps may be also due to the lack of electrolytes in your body, which is caused by dehydration. So, symptoms of muscle cramps includes pain in the muscle area, headaches, and sweating. So, here are the ways to treat muscle cramps, particularly in the leg area. So, you have to listen. So, first that you're going to do, if you have a muscle cramps, or when someone has a muscle cramps, you have to ask the victim to relax and remain calm. So, hindi ka magpanic and try to relax yourself. So, slowly extend his or her cramped leg. Slowly, hindi gulpihon ha. Hinayon lang. Next is gently keep the leg in a stretch position. Meaning, mga stretch position, wala nagapilo ang leg. Okay? Another injury is, we have here the sprain. So, for the sprain naman, a sprain is too much stretching or tearing of a ligament. This injury is common among dancers. It is caused by twisting, falling, or being hit. So you may suffer a sprain if you feel pain in the affected area, such as swelling, bruises, and inability to move the joint. So here are the steps to treat a person who has sprain. So first that you're going to do is you have to put a cold compress or pack ice on the affected area. So kung diin ang affected area, butangan sang ice. So next is wrap the affected muscle but not to the movable joint with a clean bandage. Clean bandage ha. So if you do not know how to apply bandage, bring the injured person to the nearest clinic or hospital. So kung hindi ka kabalo, mag-apply after you apply kumbaga cold compress or apply ice, so the next step you're going to do is to apply bandage. But if you don't know how to put bandage, kindly bring that person to the clinic na lang. So, hindi ka na mag-try nga ikaw magbutang-butang kay basi imbis nga hindi na maglala, iyang injury, malala pa. Kaya try butangan bandage, which is, kumbaga, hindi ka kabalo. Next, that you're going to do, let the injured person take a pain reliever if needed. So, kung may pain reliever, kumbaga nga, nabulong, o pwede mo na siya mapainom sa person nga may sprain. But you have to make sure na that person has no allergy regarding sa mga medicine, kumbaga. Diba, nga, ipainom mo sa bulong, yung nakabalong nga may allergy sa gali sa bulong. So, imbis nga sprain lang iya nga nga problema, ang ginabat siya nga sakit, talong pa sa hospital tungod sa allergy reaction sa medicine. Another injury is we have the dehydration. So a dancer is suffering from dehydration when he or she has lost a significant amount of body fluids. So of course, if you keep on dancing, hindi ka na malikawan nga, mauhaw ka. And our body, kumbaga, needs fluids, di ba? So, kung sige ka lang na dance and wala ka kainom tubig, so ma-dehydrate ka. So, this can cause by too much exposure to the heat or sunlight. And also, kung gapainit ka, and kung gasaot ka, maara ka sa initan, laban-laban, uhawon ka din na iya. And you need fluids. So we have here steps on how to treat a dehydrated person. So first that you're going to do is place the victim in a cool and shady area. Oh. So ang person nga na ina is dehydrated. Ang imo nga himon is ah ang person nga ina ibutang mo sa isa ka cold or shady area, mga baka shady. Ang handong bala, halin ka na sa, hindi man na pwede nga, halin ka na sa initan, kainitan mo pag inada siya. So, it's a no. So, pahandungan mo sa and, dala mo sa isa ka, cold nga place, bugnaw, kumbaga. Pero kung hindi man nga paghamban nga cold, literal, nga idalo mo sa aircon, gid ha, pwede na nga, ara na sa, ang may hangin lang, kumbaga. Ang hindi, bala init. Next is ask the victim to drink cold water. Now, if that person is dehydrated, so give her or him a cold water. And last is last injury is the heat exhaustion. A dancer is suffering from a heat exhaustion when he or she feels weakness, nausea, dizziness, and profuse sweating due to physical exertion. So the symptoms may include having pale skin, experiencing abdominal cramps, and feeling fatigue. So we have here thus a first aid for heat exhaustion. So first is you have to move the exhausted person to a cool and shady place. So daloy mo ang person nga ina sa cool and shady place. Sa mabugnaw, kag hindi init nga lugar. And, pero before mo na siya maidalon sa cool and handong nga lugar, you have to make sure nga that place, tarong man. Yes. Next is lay the exhausted person down gently. The legs and feet of the exhausted person should be slightly elevated. So, kung paano mo siya pahigdaon mo siya, and then, ang iya nga, or kung paano mo siya kung papungkoon mo man gid sa, dapat iya nga place, ang iya galing nga lugar, nga ginapungkuan is comfortable. So, and, ang iya nga leg dapat naka-elevate. Meaning, mga baka nga-elevate, medyo nakataas. Remove tight or heavy clothing to allow the exhausted person to breathe easily. So if that person is wearing, kumbaga, fitted na mga bayo, mga body fit bala, so isa na sa reason, kumbaga nga doon di ka kaginhawa. So na sa takso na sa, or kung tamo button, medyo okay, ang mga button, kumaga, i-open, para hindi sa, hindi tamagid ka hugot ang iya nga bayo. Next that you're going to do is, let him or her drink a cold water. So, next is, keep the exhausted person cool by fanning him or her or by placing moist towels on his or her forehead and other parts of the body. So pahanginan. Panan mo sa init or paitrik-panan mo. And you can apply, kumbaga, kung may towel ka, ang towel wala bason na. And apply sa iyang forehead or other parts of sa iyang body. So, basta ng towel, apply sa forehead or any part sa iyang body. Nga kung saliin, mabugnawan siya. And, especially sa sinay pa nga weather, or sinay panahon, which is very, very hot. So, amo naman yung time nga, uso naman ni ang heat stroke. And for the kids naman, so amo naman yung uso naman ang ginatawag na mga bungang araw sa ilang likod, kay tungod sang sweat, which is very, ginasaya, makita mo, sa mga bata. Kaya di ba, mga bata, keeps on playing, birthday na sila magbalhas na. So, muna may bungang araw sila. And that's it for our lesson in PE. So next is we have here in health. So we have here the protective and risk factors in the use of cigarette and alcohol. So the best way to prevent the use of cigarette and alcohol is to enhance your protective factors. So we have here the protective factors. So first is you have to stay away from friends who drink alcoholic beverages. If you have friends who keeps on drinking mga alcoholic beverages, you have to stay away from them. Don't make friends with them. Or stay away from places or occasions that may influence you to drink. Like for example, attending parties. Diba, in each party, hindi na yung malikawan nga may alcoholic drinks. So, if you want to, hindi mo pag-engage ang imong self na mag-drink mga alcoholic beverages, or cigarette smoking, mag-try mag-cigarette da. So, you have to stay away. Be able to handle unpleasant feelings in an appropriate manner. Make yourself busy with worthwhile activities. Discover and develop your talents and interests. Now, instead of trying or engaging yourself sa mga bisyo, kumbaga, so why not try doing ano ba lang mga alternative, yung mga activities which can, kumbaga, makapalingaw balasi mo. So, in doing that, you can discover your talents and your skills. Ay, may amo ko digiling nga talent. Oh. So, daw ko na makita nga, I'm good with this or that. And if you keep on doing that, diba, may improvement din na. So get help from parents or a responsible adult if you have a problem. So if you have a problem, may problema ka, do not hesitate to ask your parents for help or any responsible adult nga sa inyo nga house. Have a peaceful and orderly environment to avoid tension. Relax your mind and body. Learn to say no to offer alcoholic drinks. If someone, kumbaga, kilala mo, nga mga ba nga, or sa inyo, may place, pray pala, pwede pala, tagay. So what will you do? You have to say no. Decline. No. Hindi nga, when someone offer you to drink alcoholic beverages, okay. Get man. Learn to say no. And have a positive self-image. So prevention is the best action or decision to avoid avoid alcohol or cigarette use or abuse. So you won't have a problem with tobacco and alcohol if you won't start using this. And again, as a reminder, at your age, you are very curious in everything. So don't you dare try na mag-smoke or mag-drink, kumbaga, sa mga alcoholic beverages because you're too young. So the opposite of the protective factors mentioned that I've mentioned, so are the risk factors in the use of cigarette and alcohol. We have here other risk factors. So suffering from depression, inability to resist pressure, experiencing family disruption, living in a dysfunctional family, having difficulty in attaining success. So what do you mean to say living in a dysfunctional family? So magkamagang living in a dysfunctional family, so they are the ones nga mga sa ilang house, broken family, nan. And ang mga person nga nag-start na nagkakanya-kanya, in short, no one cares about you. So we have here prevention and control of gateway drugs. Preventing teenagers from getting into gateway drugs is the best way in drug abuse prevention. Since alcohol and cigarette are widely used in our society, laws, rules, and regulations must be followed and implemented strictly. School administrators, locals, and national officials are aware of the danger of gateway drugs among the young adults and even adults. So we have here the following regulations and policies that must be implemented and followed. First is no store can sell alcoholic beverages and cigarettes within 200 meters distance from the school. So dapat 200 meters away. Wala store. Dapat ang mga store hindi sila magbaligya sa mga alcoholic and mga sigarilyo. Pag ang inyong house and you have kumbaga ng Changge, pag ang inyo balay lapit sa school, dapat 200 meters away. No students are allowed to come to school under the influence of alcohol or with possession of cigarette. So wala ang mga estudyante hindi allowed nga magsulod sa classroom nga amoy sigarilyo and amoy alak. No restaurants are allowed to sell alcoholic beverages to minors or below 18 years old. So, sa mga mga convenience store, so pag try mo na balik ka nga bata ka, bakal ka na sang mga alcoholic beverages, hindi ka rin nila obligyan because you are a minor. Drinking alcoholic beverages on the street is prohibited. Selling of alcoholic beverages among minors is prohibited. So it is not allowed. Driving under the influence of alcohol is prohibited. Driving nga nakainom, prohibited, bawal na. Okay? Sometimes it can lead to accidents. And accidents that can lead to death. So follow the law, regulations, or policies being implemented at home, in school, and in the community in relation to cigarette and alcohol use. Always remember the consequences of the tobacco and alcohol use. So you have to weigh the consequences against common reasons teenagers give for using these gateway drugs. So you have to make responsible decisions regarding the gateway drugs. So always remember, a helpful decision is always safe. So next is we have the resistance skills in situations related to cigarette and alcohol. So magambag ka ng resistance skills are skills that help a person to say no to an action or to live in a dangerous situation. So it is very important to use the resistance skills when someone pressures you to use cigarette and alcohol. You can say no with self-confidence. So when someone, kumbaga, asks you, smoke, drink niyo, imna niyo. So you have all the rights to say no with self-confidence. Nga no, hindi kuya. Pag inapilit ka, no. You have, dapat ma-decline ka git. Naya kung gusto mo mag-no. But if you want to say yes, you can easily, okay. It depends on you. But, because you are very young, and may mga grupo-grupo, may mga friends, kamuda nga, very curious nga try ta mag-smoke, balaamon niyo, tilawan ako ano niya sabor, or mag-drink mga alcoholic beverages. Kaginagda ka, what do you say? No. Okay. So when saying no to that person, all you have to do is look straight in his eyes and say no with a firm voice. No. So there are important skills in dealing with cigarette and alcohol offers or situations that may lead to dangerous drug use. To resist pressure, here are what you can do. First is decide on how you really feel about the situation and stand up your opinion. Say no. Say it over and over again if necessary. If that person keeps on bugging you or kumbaga, ginapilit-pilit, sagit ka, you can say it all over again. No. Don't make excuses. Just assert your opinion and repeat it if necessary. If that person, kumbaga, pilit sagit ka, nga how, hindi ka how, sige na pala, no, hindi gitsa, sige na pala, try na, mo na. So, just state your opinion, ang imong ihambal. Recruit or influence of a friend to back up your refusal or choose a responsible behavior. So applying resistance skills that are necessary to avoid the gateway drugs use will give you the following benefits. First, you do not take the risk of becoming dependent upon drugs. Your body is not destroyed by dangerous chemicals. Family and social relationships are not likely to be disrupted. There is reduced likelihood of violence and you are not violating the law. So, ang mga gitang mention ko, amo na siyang imo na-acquire if hindi ka magpadala sa influence ng alcohol or cigarette. And that's it for our lesson for the Q4, week 5 topic in Mapeh. So, thank you for listening.